the time, sir. So actually, my grandfather died in the last year in Jan 2020. So I came to India just because in an emergency, and I got stuck because of the lockdown. So
So
my all
you
the
are in
documents.
India right now?
Yeah, I'm in India.
Okay.
So my all the documents, like whole life document, everything, hard copy, all the luggage and everything is still in China. And
Mhm.
because of the war situation, there is like no courier and nothing is working
Because of
between
what
India and China.
situation?
Because of like the war situation, what the border situation was there between India and China.
Uh-huh.
So the things are coming from courier, but like the customs are not clearing it, whatever coming from China.
Okay, okay.
So the problem is like in India, I try to get job. So, but like for
You
most of
can't,
the job,
but you can't go back now and collect your document?
no, because India is not issuing even a tourist visa.
I mean, China is not issuing.
Yeah, sorry, China is not issuing a tourist visa. So because of the hard copy, like the government jobs and all the jobs are like I cleared a lot of how to say like the interviews and everything, but I couldn't because I
But
don't have the hard copy.
what about your are you done with your master's there, or you're still
Yeah,
doing?
I'm already done. It was a 3-year degree, masters by research. That I did, that I finished.
And then you came back.
No, I finished it online in while I was in India, stuck in
Oh, okay,
lockdown.
okay. Okay, got it, got it.
Okay, and as soon as I finished it, that after 2 days only, the Indian government banned all the apps also, so I cannot even communicate properly to the people there.
Do you have a
So
friends there that they can send your stuff or no?
yeah, there are people, but that's what the problem is. Like they went to DHL and other private companies to
Mhm.
send it, but I have the screenshot. They are saying that I can send it. It will cost like 70 to 80,000 rupees, Indian rupees, but custom will not clear in India, and then you have to pay taxes, and you have to wait for months and months.
Got it.
So yeah, so that's an issue first of all. Second thing is like I
I
was
mean, can they send it to, I don't know, US or some other country, and where your friends are, and then they can send back to you?
uh, for that I applied to the Cell graduate program, SHELL Cell graduate program for Malaysia. So I thought that if I go to a job in Malaysia, I will get a temporary citizenship there, and then from there I will travel to China, and then I will collect my things and come back. But the I couldn't clear the Cell job one also. So I'm
Okay.
looking for jobs.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. Okay, so let me ask. I understand this is the problem. I mean, I really cannot help, but let me. You tell me your situation. What is going on?
Yeah, so but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like from the last year, I had a prior agreement with a professor in Cambridge University. He have contacted me directly, like, and he was very interested in my work. So he was like, he wanted me to do the PhD under him. So I have applied for the Cambridge University under him, but unfortunately I couldn't clear the scholarship because of the year gaps and all, which I have written in my cover letter. So I couldn't clear and because I cannot pay the fees for PhD, so I have to drop that idea. And after that, I'm applying for each and every position. Like I have applied for more than 179 positions so far, and I have written to more than like 800 professors email, but I haven't been successful to get a single PhD position so far. So I
And
was like,
you have done it mainly in where?
in the last 1 year,
Yeah, yeah, but where?
all over the world, from Japan, China, Hong Kong, US, Europe, everywhere, UK, everywhere.
Mhm.
And
I mean,
yeah, what I was saying,
did you clear GRE and all that, or you don't have that score?
last year it was not mandatory. GRE and TOEFL and IELTS were all waived off.
Okay.
So I thought that it's a good chance to get a position. Okay, so and the thing is like in US application, like one application, if you are applying, it's like cost like minimum $65 to $120. And if you are that like around 8,000 rupees, and if you are applying for 4 position, that's 32,000 rupees. So
Hey,
that
but my
is too
question
much.
is why you are looking at reading your cover letter. Don't you think it will be much better for you to find a job in India and work there? Why you are
Sir,
pushing yourself
I am
to?
already doing a job.
Okay, so why you are pushing yourself too much if it's not working then?
Sir, because I wanted to do the PhD, because I don't want to go to in industry.
Yeah, but
Industries like
I know what I'm saying is in your CV you have written your story about how difficult it is for you with your parents and everything. I mean, I'm just
yeah.
saying, like, as someone who is reading it, I feel you probably would like to stay there and help your parents out.
Uh, that's what the things are like. Right now, the situation is very good. Okay, means like everybody is fit and healthy. This is my chance to go and get my PhD. This is what I'm like. Okay, before something happened, like I really
Yeah,
want to finish off.
right. No. What I'm trying to understand to you is if this is the CV cover letter that you are sending is not going to help you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, sir. This like this, I have already like changed my CV and resume for 9 times to 10 times, but now I'm feeling like
Just one
there
second.
is.
Just one second.
Hello, sir. I cannot hear you.
Sorry. No, what I'm trying to tell you is the cover letter that you have sent me. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if that cover letter is going to help you because it talks about your problems. And
yeah. I just. Yeah,
here again, I'm telling you based on what I'm seeing. Okay,
yeah.
the cover letter that you have sent me talks about a lot of things that you have done, but it also talks about your personal issues. And that to me is very striking because it just tells me that you are in some situation where your parents need your help and it doesn't match. And the other thing is, I will be very honest with you. No professor will like to hear your personal grievances. It doesn't work that way.
Actually, I added that particular the fourth point after there is a professor from Germany. She told me that there are some year gaps in your CV. Okay, like there are like the breakage, there you have not continuous, so there are break. Please mention those things in your cover letter. Otherwise, we will how you will justify those year gaps.
Okay, let me
And
see what year gaps you have. Hang on. So you did
she
your
just
bachelor's in 715 and then you went. So what did you do for 2 years?
so that's what I have written, sir. Like I have taken a one semester extra. Like I passed out in November 2015, but November 2015, the Chennai the flood came,
Yeah,
and
but
it was all.
see, but see, what I'm trying to tell you is your gap can be as simple as you were working towards your GRE or someone. I mean, the number 4 that you have written is there is a lot of stuff there. All I'm
How
trying
should I
to,
write it?
I would, if I was you, I would simply mention that either I was preparing for a GRE exam or I was working somewhere else, or I was preparing for a competitive exam or something, rather than writing my personal grievances. I mean, to be honest
Okay,
with you,
I
you
will
have written quite a lot there. I'm not sure if it's going to help you. That's my point.
okay, that I will change now.
And other thing you have to, you have to understand. So again, the way you have written your point 4, you really mention about my parents are severely sick, father got a stroke, one side is completely paralyzed, mother has broken, and now you're saying everything is fine. It doesn't work that way. And you're saying both are in wheelchair, and how it's possible that suddenly everything is fine. So my question to you would be, either don't write it or try to justify why you want to come still, since your parents are in such a big trouble.
Okay, so I will try to just mention it like I was preparing, like just a year gap I will mention.
Yeah, I mean, try to mention it. I mean, first of all, talk what is truth. You can't keep changing things. Okay, that's number one. You can't say, oh, my parents were sick, now I'm going to write my parents are not sick. It doesn't work that way too. So what is truth, write that. But what I'm saying is, if what you have written is true, then I would say that somebody will read it and will say, then why the hell you want to come?
Okay.
You understand
Okay.
my point? You
Yeah,
can't
I got
just,
it.
yeah, I mean, the thing is that if you're going to change your cover letter, change your story and send it back again to the same professor or anybody, it's very easy to catch these things these days. I mean, I can tell you a story. There was a guy who did exactly the same, and some professor forwarded that to the other one, and they knew that this person was lying. It's very easy to do that these days, especially if you are applying into the same graduate school.
Okay.
Professors do talk to each other. You understand my point?
Yes, I got it, but it's not like.
I'm not saying you're lying. All I'm saying
Yeah.
is, if you have a story which is genuine, if this is the story which is genuine, my question would be is like, then why you even think, or why you're even thinking of coming? Looks like, I mean, you have literally written, yet both your parents are on wheelchair. So either stick to your story and do what is right, or don't write it
I
then.
got it.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it.
Right. I mean,
So
the thing is that, I mean, looking at your CV, here's another thing. Look at your CV. I don't think it's a bad CV that you cannot get admission into a PhD program in any university in the world. I don't see that happen. Okay. I think you should be able to find PhD positions. I don't think why it's a problem. Question number two comes, it could be a problem, number one, because first of all, you did your master's in China, that too in aerospace. And if you're if you're planning to apply for an aerospace program in US or some other country, they may not like it just because of geopolitical issue. Okay, that's number one. Number two, even though you are saying that they waive IELTS, TOEFL, or whatever, my question would be: is it preferable to do that still? And number three would be is, even though, let's say, they are waiving IELTS score or GRE score or TOEFL score, but then what things have more weightage? So more weightage would be your GPA, more weightage would be given to your letter of recommendations. Do you have a good GPA? Do you have a good letter of recommendations? That will be the other question. I mean, you have done your master's from China, from that whatever professor you have worked. Is the person is willing to write a good recommendation for you? That is extremely important. Extremely. I mean, if they don't know your GRE score, then how they gonna verify your authenticity? So my
sir,
question, yeah, go
my
ahead.
supervisor was a fellow of Cambridge and Imperial.
I'm not saying your advisor could be president of America. That's not the point here. The point here is what he is doing for you. So my question here is if you are confident that he is, he can write good recommendations for you, it's good. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your advisor is a PhD from Cambridge or whatever. There are thousands of professors you can find all over the world which has PhD from Cambridge. So who cares? The point here is that professor is good for you. That's more important.
Okay.
And is he able to help you in a better way that any advisor should do? That's more important. So you know that situation better. I can't comment on that. So if you say, hey, I'm not sure if my advisor is going to write a good recommendation for me, that is a big red flag.
Okay.
If you tell me,
I
no,
got
I think my advisor will write a good letter for me, we have a really good relationship, I will tell you why I'm saying that. Yesterday, I was talking to a student who who finished his PhD from Japan, and he was looking for postdoc positions. Is that just yesterday I was speaking to someone, and he told me that I cannot find postdoc positions. And I asked him the same question. I said, do you think your advisor will write good recommendation for you? Because postdoc is all about your advisor and good recommendations. Same for PhD. And he said, no, I don't think he will do it because I don't think we have a good relationship. So I said, why you are even then planning to do it then?
okay.
Everything that you do in academics, whether you go for a PhD program or a postdoc program or even early career jobs, the first job that you get, your advisor need to be on board. He need to write really good recommendation for you. Especially that's the only way to judge it, because now you are saying that they don't need GRE score. So how are they gonna validate how good you are? So if you tell me, no, my advisor is good, that's good. Then I'm then questioning like why you have a problem then? Why you are not getting admission? I really am struggling with it then.
Sir,
The
actually
only,
the thing is, sorry, yeah.
yeah, what I'm saying, the only reason I can think of that you are having a problem is because you did a degree in aerospace, that too from China, which are not having which are having a lot of restrictions in some strategic areas all over the world. And if you are applying to aerospace program in US, I can see that a professor might be reluctant to take you. I can see that because he has to pay you, and where he's going to pay you from? He's going to pay you from some projects, and that project say that you can't have students from certain countries or something. That happens. Okay, that happens. So my question to you would be is how, and the question is, so what should you do then? My only answer to you would be is apply to some other programs, apply to mechanical engineering, apply to civil engineering, apply to material science or some other thing, some other programs, but not to
Sir,
aerospace.
sir, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, those,
I have applied to fire science, mechanical, material, and everything so far.
let me ask you this question, Pratik. Why you want to do PhD?
So I want to join the academic. See, the thing is like uh, from the very starting, like before, like if you see why I started doing the aerospace, because I was very much interested in aerospace combustion modeling, actually, to be very precise, thermocaustic modeling. So in my bachelor also, I did it by my own. I had no fundings and nothing, but I made my room a lab and I started doing. And that paper was selected for the national combustion meet in US. So
Huh?
I did the thermocaustic modeling in bachelor also, and I did the thermocaustic combustion modeling in my masters also. I
No,
was
no, again,
I was so much.
that's not my question. My question is why you want to do PhD? Very
I want to
specific.
join academy field,
Where?
academia. I want,
Where?
sir, that's that's I'm not sure. I just want to join in a good environment where I'm free to do my research, where I can bring the
Again, I'm
people
going to
like
be
that.
again be specific to you. Okay, and if you can be specific, then only I can answer. Don't know doesn't work. So my question to you is, if you say I want to join academics, that's good.
Mhm.
I know that you are more interested in becoming a professor, okay, or maybe working in a research lab. But my
Mhm.
question is where? In Japan, in Korea, in Malaysia, in India, in China, in US, in UK? What are your preferences?
My first preference is Europe,
Okay.
and the second is India. That's it. That's all two option I have.
So my question to you is, have you tried applying to IITs or somewhere?
Yes.
So what happened? Did you give a gate exam or you did not?
No. No.
So how?
I was rejected while applying only,
Yeah, but you
because
have to give your gate
I
exam
had
or something.
because I had no CGPA in my bachelor. My CGPA was not meeting the minimum requirement.
Again, so that's what I'm trying to understand from you. Maybe that is the reason. So actually, if you be honest with me, then only I can answer your problem.
Yeah.
Was your CGPA good enough or not?
In bachelor or in master's?
In bachelor's.
My bachelor CGPA was very low.
Okay,
As you
so
can see, I fell out of the university because I was doing the research.
so Pratik, it doesn't work that way then. That could be the biggest reason that why you are not getting admissions in PhD program. I will tell you my story here. When I was applying for a PhD program in US, I had a good CGPA till third semester, and that's where until third year. And I was, that's what you need to apply for your PhD program and with your GRE score. My fourth year, I didn't care too much, so my GPA fell. When even before I joined, the university asked an explanation why suddenly your GPA is low, although I had an admission. And the reason why I'm telling you is, if you are a dropout, if you have a low GPA, in today's environment where GRE is not required, this can be a biggest deal breaker. Trust me, because there is no other way they can judge you. Let me ask you, how do you think of getting a letter of recommendations from where?
Sorry?
Where are you planning to get your letter of recommendations once you apply for a PhD program?
From my supervisor?
Again, from like which supervisor?
From my master supervisor.
How about your anything from bachelor's or no?
No.
That is a problem then.
For my first, second, like I have kept my bachelor's supervisor who have written, I am very 100% confident he have written a very good recommendation letter for me. With him, I have worked the most. So he have written, he is third, third recommendation letter for me.
Pratik, I will tell you the way things work, and I cannot I cannot emphasize too much here. I will be very honest with you. The way the whole PhD program works, especially in US and more so in Europe also, and India for sure, GPA is number one. Your score or your GPA, GRE or TOEFL score is number one. Same with GMAT score or something. Your GPA is number two. Letter of recommendation, your research has very, very less weightage. They don't care as a bachelor's that you publish papers really huge, unless until you do amazing research or something. When I was bachelor's, I will tell you my story. When I finished my bachelor's, I had 7 or 8 papers. And then only I realized that what was more important is to focus on your score or in your GPA. That's what matters. If your GPA is low, if your score is low, especially if you have gaps or something in your bachelor's, it's a huge red flag. They don't care about it. You need to understand that. And I think the way you are getting a response, it's very clear that they don't care about what research you did in your bachelor's. Something else matters. Do you understand my point here?
Yeah.
Exactly. So as I said, I don't want to sugarcoat things, but this is what I have faced when I was applying for my bachelor. This is what I have seen. I speak to a lot of students. This is what matters a lot.
So master CGPA doesn't matter.
I mean, it matters, but not that much. As I said to you, you are doing your master's from China, from some university, not from even IIT Bombay. And that too, that's the other question I have for you is, based on today's situation, that's my personal feeling. Okay, I'm not sure geopolitically how good is to go to China and do your masters. I don't know, especially in the area which are ITR restricted. Every country is very cautious about the research and the work, especially in your area. If you're doing bridge engineering, maybe okay, but aerospace, that too under propulsion, is a very looked upon field, very carefully looked upon field. And I, to be honest with you, I actually, I had, now more I talk to you, I realize where the gap is. The gap, the problem is with your bachelor's CGPA and the gap you have. That's where the biggest gap is. And every graduate committee is going to question that, no matter, they don't care how great research you have done. Your advice, I mean, that may be the reason why you probably didn't end up going to Cambridge.
Yeah.
So I mean, what did you learn from this whole scenario then?
Should I go for master's again?
No, do your whatever you are doing, do your job and be happy or whatever. I mean, you can, here's the thing, you can again try and do your master's or whatever. And second thing is it's for everybody knows that it's very easy to pay for your education and go for master's. The difficult is if you have to get a scholarship, and the scholarship you will have a very tough time considering what your situation with your bachelor's. So, you know, what I'm saying is, I think you are hiding the reality here because you are passionate about something. Who cares? I mean, you're passionate. Your GPA and your things doesn't show that. And as I told you, this is the mistake actually I also did when I was undergrad. I thought if I'm going to do excellent research, my GPA won't matter. But then I realized that the GPA and the score matters number one, not the research. Unless and until your advisor really goes out and help you. But my question here is, and also I will tell you what kind of recommendation helps. Let me tell you this way. So I don't know whether you heard that or not. In IITs especially, you have department topper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those people are the one who goes to MIT and Stanford. Why? Why not someone who has 6 GPA and has done excellent research? Doesn't matter. Because the professors write that this guy was consistent in delivering, made consistent effort, was throughout consistent his 4 years, had a good demeanor when he was in this class, paid attention. All that it matters. That's what the recommendation is all about. As a PhD, they expect you to do good research, but as a bachelor's, they expect you to be consistent, to have a good GPA. That's what the expectation is, and that's what takes you up there. So I can't go and correct you what you have done, but I would really hope that you will learn from this conversation. What do you have to do now? You can keep chasing the goose. That's up to you. That's totally up to you. But if you are looking for a scholarship in a good school, in a good program, it will be tough. But trust me, I will tell you another thing. If you happen to go to a university that nobody knows and they invite you to do a PhD, please don't do it. That's a suicide too. Okay? If you want to do a PhD, go to a good school in a better place with a scholarship and do it. Please don't do that mistake that you find a university X in a country Y because they invite you to do PhD. It doesn't work that way. What are you going to do after that? God knows. Their PhD has nothing to do with you being you doing something awesome or earning more money. Has nothing to do with it. I'm glad that you are passionate. That's really, really great that you were saying those things. I really like those. But unfortunately, the situation is different. So, yeah. I mean, I have to stop it because I have to go somewhere else. But I will summarize my suggestion is for you is, one is, if I'm interested in PhD as you are, for sure, there's no doubt in my mind, I will try to apply to good schools only in a good countries, and the countries where there's a future, not like in utopia and get pay a PhD. No. Or probably in China. I don't know what you're going to do after that. Try to go to a country which makes sense. The countries are very obvious. Germany, UK, US, Canada, you know, all those countries are good if you're able to get it. Number two, if you can pay from pocket, up to you. But PhDs are usually funded and they are very competitive, and they are, as I said, there is something that you have done in your bachelor's that's gonna haunt you. How you can overcome that, I have no answer. I really don't.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but I haven't done anything wrong in my bachelor.
No, I'm
It
not
was
saying you
just
have done
that.
wrong. I did not say, but you are the one who is telling me, right? You have a gap, you have a poor GPA. That's huge. You don't understand this yet. This is huge for committee members who are making decision for you to get in admission. It's really a big deal, trust me. Okay, as I told you, the way if I have to categorize 1, 2, 3, 4, the rank, the number one preference is somebody who had a really good GPA, had a really good GRE score, had a very good recommendations, has done research. That's maybe fourth or fifth for PhDs. I am not saying you have done something wrong, but there is something that you have done which you shouldn't have done it. But as I said, I have learned that when I was a bachelor's. Otherwise, I would have done PhD from MIT too. I did not. I applied. I didn't get admission. I know why. Because my GPA was not good enough. I was focused more on doing research, but I didn't screw up my GPA too, or I didn't had a gap. I was saved in that sense. If I would have that problem, trust me, I wouldn't have get admissions anywhere. So it matters. That's the truth. How you can overcome that, it's up to you. But I would say if you still want to have a hope, do apply. Trust me, India would be extremely difficult for you, even if you have a really good GATE score, because they're going to look at your GPA and that's what it is. It's very difficult. And number two is, I would say, I mean, as I said to you, also my extreme suggestion would be is don't go to somewhere because you want to do PhD. It doesn't work that way. You would be in trouble 3 or 4 years later. Don't do that. It's a suicidal. It's better to do work, whatever you are doing, and earning money. It's much better. And the last thing I would tell you is, I mean, I won't discourage you that don't apply. I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying at all that your life is done, you cannot do PhD. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying that you are still under this illusion that you had done some great research in your bachelor's and that is somehow is going to overcome everything. I want to tell you the truth. So now you have to justify. And whatever you have written in your CV, your parents were sick, a flood came, has nothing to do with your low GPA, has nothing to do with something. But those grievances along with your GPA doesn't equate. It doesn't give me the answer, and it really looks wrong based on what you have written. Don't put your personal grievances when you're sending your application for jobs and for application for PhDs or anything. It doesn't work. It doesn't help. No professor is going to help you because you have a family problem. Every professor wants a good student with low baggage. Okay? Nobody wants.
Is there,
Nobody.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
is there any changes I should make in my CV?
I mean, as I already told you, how you want to overcome your GPA, and God knows, I have no idea. I mean, that's what I'm saying. When you send me an email, I was not able to understand why it is difficult for you get to admission, because every Dick and Harry gets admission anywhere, at least some places. But now I know where the problem is. So,
Okay.
so here's the thing. You already told me specifically you have 179 universities you apply and you didn't get, or send emails, whatever. That tells you something, that there is something wrong. I told you what in my opinion was wrong. So either
Okay.
change the course of your career and do something else, or you can repeat the same mistakes, keep doing the same thing, because trust me, it's not going to help you anymore, because you had gaps, and then you have gaps between your bachelor's and master's, and then you have gaps now again. It's not going to help you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if I was you, I will probably focus on the work I'm doing. I'm really glad to see that you have a job. You have no idea that students who are done with their PhDs and everything, they don't even have a job right now. And they say, why we did PhD? So if you have a job, I would say excel in that. That's another way of thinking it.
So, sir, I'm doing a job in IIT Madras. Should I get a recommendation from there?
As I said to you, you can get it. You have to understand how the admission process works. PhD admissions usually are handled by the graduate committee, and they look at the overall performance. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes professors have leverage, but they can't say, I want to, we should take this student and not this one, where they clearly see your bachelor's has a problem. It's a big red flag.
Okay.
Okay. So
yeah,
you can, as I said to you, it's your thing. You can keep doing the same thing, and hopefully you will hear it. But that's how the system works.
Okay.
But if you have a job, you're trying to find a job, whatever it is, it's up to you. But trust me, it's a tough one. That honestly, in my opinion. But as I said to you, it will be difficult for you to get admission to good universities based on the background. But if you get admissions in some country for a PhD, my advice would be just think before you leave. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, Pratik.
Yeah.
Thanks. Nice talking to you. Hopefully, as I said to you, I'm not discouraging you, but honesty is an important thing. That's going to save your life. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.